Hey, Copper Nerds, I don't remember what this is at all. No idea. I got a few things coming, and I usually sort of keep track of what they are, but yeah, it's a coin, that's for sure. It is a coin. It is a, oh, yeah, it's here. I thought it was going to come from China. It didn't come from China. It came from Illinois. It came from Illinois. When I got on Etsy and ordered what was very clearly a counterfeit $17.94 plain edge, they didn't even try, large cent. Okay. Well, let me regroup and then we'll take a look at this thing. I mean, it's not hideous, right? It's still that basic depiction of liberty that we like, but it's just not that well done either. It's, I don't know. I don't know how well it presents the differences here in video compared to in person. But, plain edge. The surface and metal are just way off. They're not even close. It's light. It's definitely not copper. I'll weigh it. The letter shapes are better than some that I've seen. It's got kind of a single berry reverse going on that doesn't match anything. What else am I seeing? I don't know. Like it's almost like you have to have it in hand and in person to really appreciate just how wrong things are. But it's hard for me to just look at it and say, oh yeah, look at how this looks way off. It's not going to attribute, I can tell you that just by looking at it. The obverse is probably a little easier to pick out issues, but the hair details are a little choppy. Clearly were not like hand engraved. But the details on the cap, you know, they're not terribly far off. Again, letter shape and spacing is not terrible. It's got that head of 95 look to it, that tight lower curl. It's just more of an in-hand appearance, gut feeling kind of a thing. Everything looks wrong. It's in low relief compared to the original. Relief is definitely lower. Face shape is wrong. Dentilation is very flat, whereas on the 69 here, it's very dish shaped, you know. Again, that relief is much higher. Substantially lighter weight. What else can I observe? The surfaces look wrong, the color looks wrong, but again, the letter stamps are a little bit wrong. You know, they're different than the 69 here, but there's a few different letter punches that were used throughout the series. It's one of those things that's hard to describe with words, much easier just to show you some pictures. So let's do that. I'll break out some good pictures of these side by side just to show you what I'm looking at. But it's kind of a tough one to just point at and say, oh, look at this and this. It's really just the totality of the counterfeit is clearly wrong, but the individual details are better than a lot that I've seen outside of the portrait and hair details and whatnot, which are obviously wrong even at a glance. But and there's no jawline whatsoever on the counterfeit. That's something that you'll want to look at when I show you some pictures. There's no texture to the neck. There's no three-dimensional kind of feel at all to the portrait device. So let's go take a look at a few pictures and then I'll come back with some more info after that. All right, so I don't have anything real definitive beyond what we've talked about. I mean, it's the wrong metal composition. It's in low relief. The details are not correct, just visually. The edge lettering's missing. It won't attribute, and it's about 2 grams too light. So that's what the weight came in as, was a couple grams too light, as you saw in the photos. But I don't know. It's a novelty at this point for the channel, and just to put it out there that we're aware of, you know, this particular counterfeit. And I'm gonna try and keep up on whatever counterfeits are available on the market, and I'll try and get them in hand just so we can talk about them. But yeah, see if a little oiling and brushing does anything on this one. It's actually looking even a little nicer. It's an absolute piece of junk. I'm not saying it's a nice coin, and it's certainly not as nicely done as like those gallery mint more faithful reproductions are. It's a cheap counterfeit, but that's impressive how much better it looks with a little bit of oil. I'll add another photo showing the difference, a little before and after. But that's so that's this one. Got it on Etsy. It was, I think, $15. There is no chance you'll mistake it for an authentic one, but I have one more coming that's a little worse. But yeah, this is what you're getting out of China now to try and clog up the market, but they're doing such a poor job. There's good counterfeits out there, and hopefully at some point I can get my hands on something a little more convincing that we can look at together. But this is an easy one. You will immediately, when you get it in hand, know that it's not a copper coin and definitely not an authentic 1794. So with that, I appreciate you checking out this video. I will talk to you a little more in the comments. I will see you in the next one. Peace.